very good point. Coming to the application part, so now before I get to the application, I think how many of you have taken the GMAT? Okay, not bad. So those of you who have taken the GMAT, okay, let me rephrase my question. How many of you have taken the GMAT for the last time? Okay, that's a different question, right? So if I were to ask you in terms of GMAT prep, most of us have not taken the GMAT or are in the verge of taking the GMAT in the next couple of months. You look back, couple of you have taken the GMAT multiple times. What is that one piece of advice that you think you want to give them, without getting into the details? Details I'll tell you later in the class, but without getting into the details, like what is that one thing that you think best summarizes GMAT? This is what GMAT is, and I did not realize, but after I have taken GMAT, this is what I realized about it. So,
because I had taken GMAT 4 times, so first 3 times I had a hat trick of 680, and yeah, I was very much angry at the computer because I thought it already knows my name, so it's not giving me more marks. But then I realized the last time I took was I just went ahead because there was a new clause in the GMAT that you can cancel your score after seeing it. So that made me really happy. Like after scoring 680, one more time I get 680, I can cancel it off. So that relieved my pressure. I think one of the main reasons we in GMAT people score a bit less than 700 would be the pressure on you. If you have even a small pressure at the last moment of your verbal also, it's going to kill you. I think that's it.
Handling of pressure?
Yeah. So to re-emphasize what he said, I think the key thing with GMAT is writing it as many times as you can. Like the first time you write it, everything is new to place. The structure, even though you read about it, you don't know exactly what to do when. The more number of times you do it, it's inherent what you have to do next. You know the number of questions that are remaining, the next section, what it's going to be like. So just keep doing it. The good thing about GMAT is not like CAT, it's not once a year and you screw the whole year. So you can do it once a month, I think, and the maximum amount of times you can do it is 15. So just keep doing it every month if you have to, and that will automatically help.
So take it more. So I think if I understand this correctly, Paul, I'm not sure if you took it the second, third time, I think.
I was actually thinking of passing this question because I haven't figured that exam out yet.
So I think the other thing that is also interesting is that most of you have taken it more than once, right? So that's another thing. So not that I'm telling you to take it more than once, right? So as I say, and you would probably agree that GMAT taking multiple times is a little this, but taking it definitely has improved scores in all your cases, right? Has improved the scores. But Gaurav?
I wouldn't advocate for taking it multiple times. I would probably say it's doing it once and do it in the right way. So why I took it multiple times would be that I was preparing on my own initially and surfing on the net. GMAT Club is your best friend, and we've got a lot of bad advice there. And the foremost thing that strikes me is going for the legit material. There are lots of questions there out there, and you start banging your head on and wasting your time on unnecessary questions which are really not needed. So first thing would be to focus on the genuine questions, OG, verbal guides, and again the GMAT prep questions. Keep them for the last 10-15 days and really make use of them. Do it twice or thrice. The second thing which really boosts your score is managing your time in verbal, because I know what happens is initially 10-15 questions, you've given half an hour and you really start lagging, and what happens, your score is you're maintaining a good score, but in the end it all goes for a toss if you haven't managed your time well. So if you have to guess in between, keep doing that. It's not a bad idea. After every 3-4 questions, if you are falling short of time, mark one answer as a guess, but whatever questions you are attempting, make sure you do it right. If you are not sure that you can get it right, skip that question in 30 seconds, move on to the next question. So manage your time well in verbal and don't be bothered how you're performing, or if it's a difficult question, leave it. I think my verbal score was 42, and when I was doing it, I'm sure I would have got 6 to 8 wrong, and I guessed it, moved on, it doesn't matter. So it does not penalize you too heavily. So that would be my advice.
So I think in terms of what you had, I think the other big thing is that since most of you are applying and you're going to USB schools, right? We're going to have shortly a discussion on ISB also. But if I were to look at an ISB or if I look at other schools, I think in terms of the funding, right? In terms of how will I be able to pay for a 2-year MBA program is perhaps one of the biggest things that stops people from applying to a USB school. Do you agree on that? Right? So this is enormous, number that I see on the website, and everybody expects that you fund yourself. So what has been your strategy? So let's club two things together. One is, how did you go about selecting B schools, especially US B schools, vis-a-vis other B schools? And the second part is, within US, how do you plan to, how did you manage your finances, like in terms of scholarships, or what are the other advices that you have that people could learn?
I've given a lot of mocks, and I would really say take mocks as many as you can. In the last 10-15 days, just give your mocks. Daily or every alternate day, give a mock. There are plenty of mocks available. And don't be bogged down if you get a low score. It's okay, because none of the mocks are very accurate in terms of question level or the scores which they predict. But again, it just gives you in the group of sitting through the 4 hours and managing your time. As I said, the time management is key to verbal. So if you are able to do that pressure of the clock just goes, it comes naturally to you if you've given 5-10 mocks. So do that rather than writing the GMAT, and do the mocks. You've got a lot of them available.
And one more thing I would like to add to your thing is, you get that GMAT prep software, right, which has those 2 mocks, and you can purchase 2 more. It becomes really easy to fool yourself if you do it too many times, though. Like, if you do it the first time and you wait 2 days and do it again, that's an automatic 50-point increase. But it won't be like that in the exam, so you have to be careful. What I did is to extend, like, you only get 2 plus 2. You can't buy 2 more after that. It's just 4. You have 4 exams from that official GMAT site. So I used to do quant, 4 exams over 2 days or something like that. Then give a week and then do the verbal. So just spread it out. You can see per section scores, just don't do that exam again in the total thing. So that, I think, is one.
Good point. You otherwise get inflated scores if you keep taking the same test multiple times. Just one thing to summarize the GMAT part.
Yeah, I'm sorry, can you please paraphrase what he says, because we can't hear.
So next time you can probably keep it a little closer. Would that help, maybe? So just to paraphrase, the idea is that what Gaur mentioned was, take multiple mocks so that you are comfortable, taking it before the real deal. And the other point was more in terms of, if you take the same test multiple times, your scores will start going up, not because you're getting smarter, but because you start seeing repeat questions, right? So that's another thing. So don't say, oh, I've seen many people who have taken GMAT prep like, 100 times, and they say, I got 780 today. After 100 times, we should take 800. Correct? So that's a good point. But one thing, just to summarize, just to kind of, if I could, here is the bottom line. I think you would agree that take the GMAT when you think you're ready. Correct? Again, going back to the example of getting married. Taking GMAT, it's a mental thing. After a point, you want to say, what, enough of this, let me go ahead and take the GMAT. So make sure you are able to kind of mentally prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, I think that is very important, because how many mocks you take sitting in the real exam. Everybody in your house knows you've taken the exam. Everybody in the office knows you've taken the exam. Now, after exam is over, you have to message everyone what's your score. That pressure actually builds up automatically without our conscious. In subconscious is building up. Arey maane kya bolega? Ye kya bolenge? Wo kya bolenge?
So yeah. Today.
I'll add to that point. So I never pre-booked my date. So weekdays you will always get the slots. Whenever you think you're ready, book your slot 2 days in advance. Don't tell anyone. Just go and give the exam. You get a good score. Call everyone. Shout, yeah, I got a good score. Otherwise, no big deal.
I just went to MG Road.